This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some major updates to share with you as President Biden's poll numbers hit all-time lows again. Democrats are considering having President Biden not run for the 2024 election because Bernie Sanders is saying too many promises were kept but have not been made on. And Bernie Sanders talking about a lot of other things. Some are saying that there shouldn't be student loan forgiveness, but there should be stimulus checks instead of that. I'll also give you the latest 10 approved stimulus checks in different states, and one of your states could be in that list. I'll let you know about that. But also we'll talk about the Social Security boost of $200 per month, how there could be an 8.6% COLA boost, and we'll talk about the high gas prices and a few other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below, and I'm giving $200 to my subscribers. I'll talk more about that later on in the video, but first, Biden faces record low approval ratings as Americans struggle with staggering inflation. So it seems like every week there's a new record low coming out, and then Biden approval sinks to 22% among young adults and 24% among Hispanics in this new poll. So approval rating of President Biden's job performance slipped to just 33% in a poll released by the Quinnipiac University. So it just keeps going lower and lower. He's having a tough time, and it looks like Democrats are starting to revolt, turn. I don't know what word you want to use this, but Democrats are weighing whether Biden should decline to run for re-election in 2024. Let me know your thoughts on this. If you support President Biden, should he run again for 2024 presidential election? Should he try to run again? Should he not try to run again? Should there be another Democrat to run in place? And if so, who would be the other Democrat? So some Democrats are becoming less inclined to back Biden re-election bid in 2024. Party members and officials have become increasingly rattled by Biden's middling approval ratings, and Democrats are also frustrated by lagging enthusiasm heading into the 2022 midterm elections. Basically, for any Democratic politician, it's looking really bad for the midterm elections. It's looking bad for President Biden. Overall, it's a very tough time right now, I guess, in the Democratic political party. And as high inflation is how soaring inflation is complicating Biden's decision on whether to forgive student loans. So basically what this article is saying here is that Biden said, yeah, he's going to do student loan forgiveness, but with high inflation, could that money, or could there be other stimulus provisions that may be a better idea than student loan forgiveness? Since only a select few amount of Americans have student loans, federal student loans, could there be another way to help out a broader amount of Americans, especially low-income Americans? So also on the rise here, cost for food hits first double-digit increase in more than 4 decades. So what it's saying here, grocery shoppers are experiencing sticker shock at the supermarket with the year-over-year food price edging up more than 10% in May, which is crazy to think about, meaning that a year ago your grocery bill would have been 10% less, which is crazy to think about. So what it's saying here is also Bernie Sanders tells Democrats the GOP will march to victory in November if they don't change, says they can't just say the other side is worse, and attacks Manchin and Sinema for giving the party only 48 votes. So Bernie Sanders not too happy with the way things are running in the Democratic Party, and saying that there needs to be big changes. Promises need to be kept. There needs to be other stimulus provisions. Student loan forgiveness may not do it. Bernie Sanders, in the past, he said this, that Bernie Sanders presses Joe Biden on $2,000 stimulus check, saying promises must be kept. So that was in the past. The $2,000 stimulus check is basically what won the election, or the runoff election, for the Georgia Senate seats. It worked once. Could it work again to have stimulus checks, but for all Americans, not just in one state, to try to get the votes for the Democratic Party? Let me know your thoughts on that. If there were $2,000 stimulus checks, would you re-elect the Democrats and potentially President Biden for a presidential election? Would that work for you or not? Or either way, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on that. Would stimulus checks work? Because it seems that Democrats are getting desperate. Another proposal that's been going out here and been pushed hard, as Sanders wants to up Social Security benefits by $2,400 a year by taxing the rich, so that $2,400 would come out to an additional $200 more per month for SSI, SSDI, anybody who collects Social Security in any form. There'd be an additional $200 per month, an extra $2,400 a year. How much would that help you? So that's still in the proposal phase. Can it pass? It's possible. We're going to see a big push, and it looks like Democrats and Bernie Sanders, I guess he's an independent, but they need to deliver on big promises if they want a better midterm election turnout in 2022. And time is tight. So now there's an actual deadline in November. But any action that would be taken would have to be the effects of it and the results would have to be done before the elections of November. So Democrats have a tight deadline going on now, and they're still working on that big Build Back Better, or whatever the bill is called right now, behind closed doors, which they're trying to get done before the midterm election as well. Can it be done? I don't know. I'm going to keep you updated. It seems that there's a lot of pressure buildup now for the Democrats. And then when it comes to Social Security's annual inflation bump seen hitting 8.6%, the most over 40 years. And that may not even be enough. So hitting 8.6% for the COLA, that could help, but it maybe should be even higher. Take a look at this video clip right here talking about the boost in Social Security.
All right, Dave, well, rising inflation has sent the cost of living to record highs, and it's having an impact on everyone from millionaires to retirees. So as a result, Social Security beneficiaries will receive a boost to their monthly checks. But will it be enough? That's a big question. Yahoo Finance senior columnist Carrie Hannon joins us now with that. And Carrie, how big of a boost are we expecting?
Well, I'm telling you, we're not going to really know until October. But the numbers that are being tossed around is around 8% or even 8.6% is one estimate of what is likely based on inflation. Now, they compute it all running up till October to see how the inflation is running. But here's what happened. I mean, last week, the Social Security Administration came out with their trustees report, which they estimated that they would perhaps increase the cost of living for Social Security beneficiaries by 3.8% for next year. But it looks like, even walking back, one of the high administration officials who talked about it afterwards said, you know what, we did those numbers in mid-February, and it actually looks like we may be much closer to 8%. So I'm seeing somewhere in that range.
Carrie, what does this do for the program's funding? Because you would think that would be in question here if we do see such a big hike.
You know, that's a really good question. And the people I talked to said, actually, it really depends on how long inflation lasts for, right? So the way they're looking now is it's not long run, and they don't see it really having a heavy impact at the moment on the solvency of the fund in the future and so forth, and the financial viability of it. But what is important to note is, even with an 8%, even if it was that 8%, I keep saying it wrong, sorry, 8.6% increase per month. What would happen is, many people say that's not even keeping pace with inflation. There would still be a shortfall for retirees, and that benefits from, if you went back to 2020, that the cost of what you could buy with your check has dropped by 40%. So it is pretty significant. And really, the retirees are getting hit the hardest by this, you know, or folks that haven't saved for retirement, that they depend on that check for 90% or so of their, you know, daily living costs, for their monthly costs. This is a significant amount of money for them. And if you live in rural America and you're depending on a car, the cost of gasoline, as we all know, has just skyrocketed. And that's really taking a hard hit. And again, this year, of course, we had a bump up this year of 5.9% in the benefit to kind of address these inflationary issues. It just wasn't enough. But in that calculation, it was the Medicare jump up in the cost of Medicare B that really prompted some of that increase right there. But just simply the cost of living is really, you know, really a hardship for many, many people.
Yeah, it certainly is. Talking about gas prices up to $4.96 a gallon, the national average. So people paying more in almost every aspect of their life at this point. All right, Carrie Hannon, thanks so much for joining us.
What are your thoughts on that? Should there be a higher boost? Is 8.6% not high enough? Because basically that's where we're at with inflation. Could inflation even hit 10%? Let me know your thoughts on that. And then U.S. gas prices average hits $5 as summer of pain sets in, and it doesn't seem like it's going down anytime soon. Experts are saying that it could even go a little higher over the summer and maybe go down in the fall. So $5 is probably going to be on the lower side for summer. Take a look at the Republican perspective on gas prices.
You know, one of the things in the CPI report today, Rick, utility prices, power prices are starting to go through the roof. I mean, really through the roof. I guess it's being led by natural gas. But how about this? Electricity prices, Rick Perry, up 18% the last 3 months at an annual rate, and they're up 12% for the past year. I mean, that's it's air conditioned in the summer. It's going to be heating in the winter. I mean, how can people afford these kinds of electricity prices?
Well, they can't, and we could see this coming. You'll recall back in the early 2020 years ago, we started seeing some natural gas prices were approaching $14 an MCF right here in the United States. They're well north of $27, $28, maybe even $30 an MCF in Europe today. I don't know what the Henry Hub price is for natural gas today, but I'm betting it's over $7, $8.
Yeah, it's about
right
$9, close to $9.
$9. All right, so I'm behind. But the point is, this doesn't need to happen. You could get rid of governing's not difficult. Don't overtax, don't overregulate, don't overlitigate, and have a skilled workforce. That's it. And then get out of the way. These people think you can overregulate, and I think they're wanting to overregulate on purpose to strangle the fossil fuel industry. But like you said in your earlier segment, leave the Trump tax cuts in place. For every regulation that you get or you come forward with, cut 2 out like we did during the Trump administration, and you would see the energy industry flourish. And this recession that we're facing is being driven by poor policies in Washington, D.C. relative to industry and this runaway spending that is driving the CPI through the roof. So you know, where is Larry Kudlow and Art Laffer when you really need them?
Yeah. You know, and there's Yellen on the Hill this past week, not only in denial about their fiscal inflation and their regulatory inflation, but she's pushing their FY23 budget, Rick, which is at least Build Back Better, at least another $5 trillion, and $3.5 trillion in tax hikes. She's actually up on the Hill. That did not get enough coverage in the press. She's still pushing that nonsense, which is incredible. Anyway, it's another segment. I got to go.
What are your thoughts on that? Should America start drilling again for gas? That seems to be the Republican perspective there. I try to have the balanced view where I showed Republican perspective and the Democrats' perspective. Honestly, there aren't any Democratic solutions to lowering the gas prices, at least not from any politicians or lawmakers. So as soon as those video clips come out too, I want to show you that perspective as well. Then also 10 states have approved stimulus checks. Will your state be next? So basically, I'll go through this really quick. On the federal level, there's a $100 per month federal energy rebate payment, but that is still in Congress, hasn't really been approved yet. And then let's go over the approved stimulus and rebate check program. So Colorado, $400 rebate checks there. Delaware, $300 checks there. Georgia, $250 for single. Head of household, $375. Married, $500. Hawaii, it's $300, but technically, really, it's just $100 per person. And yeah, you could. Well, it's saying taxpayers earning less than $100,000 would receive $300, and those earning more than $100,000 would receive $100. And then dependents are eligible too, no cap on the dependents. Idaho, $75. Indiana, $125. Maine, $850. New Jersey, $500. New Mexico, $500. Minnesota, $750 for frontline workers, kind of like a retroactive hazard pay. And then there's still a bunch of pending ones as well. So I just wanted to give that really quick, give you the latest updates. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day, and I am going to be telling you that you always need to have fun at the playground or at anything. You need to have fun with yourself and enjoy yourself. how you are right now, because the day after, it won't be around. So you have to enjoy the day first. Bye!
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your time and support. As I mentioned before, $200 checks. I will be announcing how to sign up for that and potentially win tomorrow's video on Monday. So stay tuned for that. Had a cool birthday party yesterday. A lot of fun. Kids were having a blast. And hopefully you have a great rest of your weekend. If you want to check out any of my other videos, you could click up here. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.